Good morning. We need something, right? Like a good afternoon, everybody. What would happen if we started doing that? Like,
What's that?
Obviously know that it's a ripoff / homage. Like, I couldn't do. No. I hear that there are people that do podcasts and shows elsewhere that have ripped off Anthony's good. You know how Anthony does that? Like,
well, I mean, how do we know that's an original? It's just done in his, with his accent, and that might have been his way of doing Mad Dog's thing.
It might be his homage to Dog, as he worked for the Post and up in New York plenty.
Right.
More than familiar with the individual. So even more to the point of if I just ripped it off.
Yeah.
Right. Like, think about this. There's one genre of music where it's and this is one that, I grew up listening to. I'm going to speak for Barrett here for a second and say that he did as well. But you don't see many hip hop cover bands. You notice that? Like, you don't see many groups that just create and take, because there was always this mentality of you're ripping off, you're biting, you're stealing, do your own shit. But there aren't like many groups that just take songs and remake them. And that's what I was always jealous about from a lot of other genre of music, where it's encouraged in rock and it's encouraged in,
So how do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you go and have it be a cover band for
Wu-Tang
Clan? You
know
what I'm saying?
Not necessarily a cover band. Like you're saying, like a cover band. That's a band that goes out and just performs everybody else's material. And I've never seen a rap artist doing covers, period. But what you're talking about is like Joe Cocker was very famous for doing everybody else's songs, and he'd do his own freaking spin on it with his voice and his inflections and his gyrations. And he would make, like, She Came In Through the Bathroom Window from the Beatles his own hit, because it would be like Joe Cocker's version of that song. But yeah, you're right. It is encouraged almost. Like, it's almost like respect that, oh man, Jimi Hendrix made that Dylan song into his own. All Along the Watchtower was a Dylan song, and he made it a huge hit. And that doesn't happen in that other genre of music, right?
Correct. It's just not happening a lot. We don't see it. We don't see covers.
I wonder why.
Because there is such and I'm just gonna.
It's biting.
That's biting. That mentality of, hey, that's mine. I created this.
Right.
And like, I made this, and now you're taking it as your own. Like, get the hell out of here and make your own track, or because it's lyrics, it's words. It's been like that. It's been this sense of ownership of a song / really what you create, content, if you will, content. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It just got me thinking, like, what if we just came out every day and it was a good afternoon, but it was a morning version of Dog?
I'm good with it.
Yeah, well, people will accuse us of stealing Dog's material.
That's okay.
Okay.
You can accuse me of stealing anything.
There's one cover that people do. Didn't the Refugees do that?
The Fugees?
They did.
Killing Me Softly.
Killing Me Softly.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's was that a Roberta Flack song?
Yep. Dang, Harry, you were on it today.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, you get remakes. Yeah.
Right.
And look,
that's what it's called, a remake. Yeah, it's a remake. It's not yet.
Right. But that was more hip hop, though. That wasn't rap, really, was it? Right.
Well, it was more
fusion,
R&B, I think. She's
R&B fusion, yeah.
Right.
Sing is different. No raps. You can't just do raps, though.
Whatever happened to her?
Lauryn Hill?
Yeah.
She just was doing her own thing and kind of just created. I think she was touring for a while too. I know that. You know who used to work with her a lot is Will Yip.
The guy in Conchi.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No kidding.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he mastered a couple of her albums. Sorry.
Wow.
So yeah, he's got stories for days. But I don't know now. I think with COVID, everybody kind of just took a chill. But I thought she dropped an album like a couple of years ago, right?
I'm not sure.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
2010? No, that's not a couple of years ago.
That's a long time ago.
Let's see.
Good morning, Mom.
That's what it was. She was doing work there. But
Mom was on the line again, of course.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
She logs on and she tries to gauge my feelings. My mom makes sure that you okay today, boy.
Is that really it? It's just sort of check, because my mom checks in, but she lurks. She doesn't show up in the chat.
Oh,
yeah, she's just a total voyeur lurker, you know.
Voyeur.
And then you know, if I talk to her in the afternoon, like if I'm driving over to my golf club, you know, after the show, she'll be like, "Yeah, good show today." I'm like, "Oh yeah, what did we talk about?"
Will she know?
Yeah, she'll know.
Oh, so there you go.
I don't know.
You can't call around anymore.
No.
Right?
No.
Okay. I'm just curious here.
Flash. It's a flash in our lives.
I was just curious how that played out. Now, Harry's already got the Cowboys Eagles banner behind him. So the page, you talk about a remake. Now we can turn the page.
Well, I felt like, you know, I debated it today, and I'm like thinking, how much more can we belabor what happened on Sunday?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's all been, it was all very quickly talked through and talked out all over the place.
You know why?
It was all a dream.
Mm.
You know why that happened?
Why?
Because the coach went out there. All right, put out there. I messed up. Bad calls.
Yeah. He wished he could have it back. That play call.
Right. He said that.
Yeah, he said it.
So I can't. He didn't try to cover it up. So I can't deep and dive into why is he trying to cover it up? Why is he saying? Why is he lying to us? He just said, "Okay, then my fault, my bad," and bam. I mean, I don't have a rebuttal now.
Right, and they came in on Monday. Monday was a bad day, coming in after a loss and holding each other accountable. All the coaches,
yeah,
all the coaches, yeah, including himself.
Right. So
we'll see.
It's hard. It's hard if you already all right. I fell on the sword. I took the bullet. So all right, now we can go on. Now we can move on.
He said he's going to self-evaluate too.
Yeah,
you know, he's going to do it on himself, and you know, we'll see if that results in anything different on Monday night. No,
crazy though, isn't it? That I think some of it though has to do with expectations, right?
Right.
If we talked all off season about this team winning the division, and this team being a force, just make it to the playoffs, and you never know what could happen. We didn't even get that.
No.
I think there is a little more angling. There is a little more discussion. There is a little more holding people accountable. But, and this isn't to take anybody off the hook for losing a football game by all means. I just think people are cautiously optimistic or cautiously pessimistic, which is a thing as well. I think people are just afraid right now to jump in and say, this guy sucks, or this guy's the truth.
Right.
Like, honestly,
it's too early to tell.
Yeah, but that's not our normal life here. We jumped the gun on everything.
Well, I think a lot of fans have jumped the gun on the quarterback, like thinking that he's the guy. I think more so the fan base is all in on Jalen Hurts. Right? Like, already.
Yes.
No,
you're right.
I don't think so, though, Harry.
You don't think?
I think, and look, it's not the barometer, so we can talk about our day-to-day as well, but which is crazy because the more we're all inside, the more Twitter is becoming a barometer, which is just ridiculous in its own right. But here's the thing. I think that there are people who are waiting to come out of a rock after last week's loss and say, I told you. He can't throw. He can't throw down the middle of the field. They're not asking him to throw down the middle.
Yeah, nothing's happening in the middle of the field.
Nothing in the middle of the field. Just wait. Just wait. Right. But I also think there are people that are countering that. The majority, to your point, are countering that, saying, well, look at what we've seen so far. He can play. He can play. But it felt like there were some people that were waiting to come out of a rock following yesterday or Sunday's loss, pardon me, to jump on that. So I'm not saying that it's, all I'm saying to you is that I don't think it's a universal.
No, it's not universal, but I think a majority.
Well,
okay. At least the vocal fans are very in support of Hurts and think that, you know, I'm riding with him. You know, like the old term, yeah, I'm riding with my guy. You know, they're riding with Hurts. I don't know whether to ride with him or not yet.
Well, the coach addressed that yesterday also about why they didn't attack the middle of the field. He said, well, that's not what the game plan was intending to do. He let them know that, all right, we're going to attack the corners outside. We're gonna see what they can do on the outside. There just wasn't a game time adjustment to go back to the inside on it.
So now we have 2 straight weeks of that.
Right.
So if you're a defense and you see that the Eagles are either, and I don't know, maybe it's one or the other, maybe it's a combination, maybe it's just, somewhere in the middle, but the Eagles are either not asking Jalen Hurts to throw deep middle or even middle at all, or they don't need to ask Jalen Hurts to throw deep middle or middle at all, right? And one takes him off the hook and says, look, to Sirianni, and your point, that's the game plan. The other is maybe a little bit more of a concern. If you're a defense, what do you do now with these 2 weeks of live tape on at least a team for whatever reason? And you can fill in this with your answer, Barrett, but for whatever reason, they're not throwing down the middle of the field.
Well, I understand why. I mean, you had two deficient teams that were deficient on the outside as far as their cornerback. So, I mean, that's why they did that. And I think the linebackers were the strong suit on both teams. So I think that's why they didn't attack there. Now, this week,
he loves to go to his right.
Yeah. It'll be the opposite. That's why I say they do that. They do cut the half. They do cut the field in half for him. And that's what you do for all young quarterbacks. They're doing the same thing with the Jets. They'll do the same thing with Chicago coming up.
When he escapes pressure, he likes to step up a step or two and then go to his right. And he keeps his eyes down the field, but usually the throw is going to be to the right.
Yeah.
And if he's scrambling, he's going to scramble left.
Right. Yeah.
But, if the game plan gives them plays in which they're not plays that would try to attack the middle, then he can't throw to the middle because there's nobody to throw to in the middle. And there lies the problem. Even when we want to do these boot protections and these waggle protections, those are protections that cut off, one side of the field because you're booting to one side of the field. They really don't have route combinations that develop on the other side because you're running away from that side. So it wouldn't make sense having everything will flow to one side. So, I mean, that's, when people ask, why they cutting the field in half? Well, you're asking them to go and do plays like that. You're asking them to move the pocket. You're asking them to go and do boot protections. Well, that's what boot protection does. So
SD on the stream, to the point that you're making here and what we're talking about, just to kind of get thoughts on this from us here. Sirianni's offense seems predicated on bubble screens, no counterpunch when that's taken away. And again, to be fair to what we're seeing, this is 2 straight weeks with one, a really bad defense in Atlanta, and another, a defense that was vulnerable in areas. Now, it turns out that they weren't able to capitalize eventually on those areas when it mattered, but still, they were able to
they did capitalize on him. It's just they couldn't run around. He couldn't stay in bounds on the route.
Rager didn't stay in bounds.
Yeah, so
is that a play that you're going to count on week in and week out?
Well, evidently it is because they try to attack that way. They have the ability to do it. Put it like that. They have the ability to do it. Now, I've seen – now, they in the preseason, they didn't attack like that. They didn't have anything on the outside. In fact, they attacked the middle during the preseason. Everything was in the preseason was in the middle. All the
that was mostly Flacco.
Yeah,
right.
Flacco. Yeah, in the middle
what
of the
field. What does
field.
that tell you that Joe Flacco was throwing middle deep?
Well,
middle?
Flacco's 6'5". Jalen Hurts is 6 foot.
That might be it too.
I mean, let's not lose sight of that.
Right. So, you got to give them plays. If you want them to attack the middle, you got to give them plays that but
here's the thing. Minus that 91-yard pass, which, again, the Quez Watkins and Jalen Reagor are outliers, I think, in a game plan, at least. Like, you have them in your plays. You want to take shots downfield, and I love the fact that they did it, but they only took like 4 or 5 deep shots downfield.
Right. One was to Devontae Smith, too, that came up defended near the end zone, I think.
That's kind of what I'm looking at here is, and I'm not going full analytics. I don't want Barrett to just turn his screen off and leave. But what I'm saying is that of 58 or so snaps, you only went downfield 4 of them, 4 or 5 at the most. So I agree with you guys. I love the fact that there's aggression and that play is in the playbook to Jalen Reagor and to Quez Watkins. My God, I don't even know if Doug Peterson had something like that in his playbook last year. But I'm just cautious about relying on that moving forward as opposed to it being a bonus X play that you can get. And that goes back to SD's point on the chat, fellas, about how predictable the short.
Right. Everything's within like 4 yards of the line of scrimmage, it seems.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all. Look, this is not a ring the alarm. I don't want this to sound like, oh, my God, we're screwed or this guy can't coach or anything like that. But we actually have 2 weeks now of film. that Barrett has broken down, that we have seen live on TV and all. So it's just interesting to see how this thing is played out. And yeah, that chart that's circulating social media, I'm sure, is doing a lot more damage than good to the conversation. But it's just interesting to me, at least, to see how this thing is playing out 2 weeks into it, because I don't think there's any real concern at all for Jalen Hurts. But I'm just curious how defenses now start seeing this offense.
Well, Dan Quinn, you trust in Dan Quinn to come up with a big scheme?
Well, especially since two of their best ends, the best pass rushers are out in the game.
Yeah,
they're out. Yeah, so you look at that. But I tell you what, Parsons, whew, Micah Parsons is the truth, man.
Yeah,
I like him,
man.
Yeah, he looked good last week.
Yeah, and he played DN more so rush linebacker than anything. And I mean,
they're moving him around.
Yeah, I can't see him, being a force in our game. Not at the rush in position, because I can't see him beating, our two tackles.
But I mean, Bosa made plays and they found ways to get him free. I know Mailata did a good job on him.
Well, that's when you put the tight end on. That's where he got his first sack, and then the second sack was like a covered sack. So I mean, I thought he had a pretty good game against Bosa, and he's nowhere near like Bosa. Micah Parsons is nowhere near the pass rushing prowess of Bosa. But I mean, he can play the game. They're going to try to move him around, just like you said. But I can't see him being a force like he was, this last game. And when saying a force, when he was a force when he was playing linebacker, not really defensive end.
Right.
So I do think they'll start to look at the inefficiencies on trying to keep the ball outside and move inside where his best players are, with Goddard and Ertz.
Might be down Ertz now. Who knows with this COVID thing.
But isn't it also about getting these other guys? Like, I don't want the middle or deep middle to only have the connotation of tight end. Devontae Smith should be able to do some damage in the middle of the field. Same thing with Jalen Rager.
I mean, that's for sure. He can do that. I mean, that's where he's going. That's good. That's where he made his hay in the last game.
Right.
We talk about throwing out. He made everything in the middle of the field. So we attacked everywhere in the first game. That's where he had the majority of his catches when he was at the slot position, playing in the inside, little stop routes, little dig routes, comebacks and things like that. That's what he played the best. It's just this last game plan, this last week is where they threw a lot of passes outside. So, they have the ability to do it. Him in the slot is dangerous.
It's just crazy, though, isn't it, that in 2 straight weeks we haven't seen him make a throw at all in the middle of the field. And again, I'm not saying this as
he has, though. I mean, I just said it. I mean, Smith caught all his passes, the majority of his passes in the middle of the field. Not on the outside, but in the middle of the field.
Not the first 2 weeks of the season. That we have his pass chart out here.
He only caught 2 balls on Sunday.
I'll put it up.
I mean, he only made 2
give
plays.
Me a second. I meant give me a second and up.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, but the other thing, I mean, we talk about the Eagles' offense. Let's not forget, Dak had a huge game in week 1, and they didn't run the ball. They moved the ball up and down on Tampa Bay. Then last week, they reverted back to a more run-heavy
stupid. They almost
offense
lost the game that way.
No, but I mean, Pollard and Elliott combined for almost just under 200 yards of rushing.
Right. I'd rather them run though, because those guys on the outside.
You'd rather them run as an Eagle, like looking at it from the
Eagles' perspective.
Yeah, the Eagles' perspective. Yeah, I'd rather them run, man.
Yeah, because their strength is throwing the football to 3 different guys out there. I know Gallup is banged up, but you still have the ability to throw. Schultz is not brutal by any means.
Neither's Jarwin.
Yeah, Jarwin's the other guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm with Barrett. Like, if these idiots are going to run the football and try and make both Zeke and Pollard happy at the expense of an offense that could probably be league, if not top 5 in yardage. I mean, are we to believe that last year was a fluke? That Dak Prescott being down, right? Isn't there something to that, guys? And Barrett, I mean, like, I'll start with you and Harry as well. We've seen this, right? Where, like, for example, Matthew Stafford. I'll just it's the Matthew Stafford example. It's a guy who's down so much, that's throwing so much, that's putting up yardage. Like, it's not easy to put up 5K, even if you're down every year, You have to have the ability to throw the football. You have to be able to make reads. You have to be able to connect, even if defenses are playing a little softer on you. Not everybody comes back down 20, down 28 in the league. So wouldn't it stand to reason that last year Dak Prescott and him leading the league before he got hurt in basically like every metric, including yardage, I think, why wouldn't you go back to that this year if you're Mike McCarthy?
No question.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense. You know, especially but you know, the offensive line was an issue too at some points for them. They're not nearly what they were on the offensive front.
Right now Lyle Collins
is on a suspension, right?
Yep, he's on a suspension. And you know, at the end of the day, back. You know, and that's a plus. But I mean, I mean, if you look at Smith's not the same guy that he used to be.
No.
You know, he was, you know, one of the most dominant tackles I've seen in a long time. He's not, you know, Tyron Smith is close to what he used to be. So from a blocking perspective, I understand why they ran the ball, because you don't want to put that ball up like they did before. I mean, Steele was getting his butt kicked this last game. So I can't see him. He's playing the tackle for Lyle Collins right now.
Mm.
Oh,
so, but I mean, the weapons you have, you know, you still have Cooper and you still have Lamb.
Yeah.
So at this point, I don't know how you
Your boy
approach
Pollard had a big game last week.
I tell you, Pollard's the best back they have.
You love Pollard.
I do, man. He's the best back there. He does everything well.
With that statement, or is this a legit statement here?
No, he does.
Nah, I've been talking about Pollard for the longest, man.
Yeah,
for the longest.
You're all Pollard up. Is that what it said?
Now, Joey B on the stream says Shander looks like a Breaking Bad character in that hoodie.
Which character?
I don't know. He doesn't give any details.
There was no hoodie character. Come on.
No, what he's saying is, did you fit in the mold of Breaking Bad?
Oh, okay. So he could see you on a street corner in New Mexico slinging rock.
He's never been in Albuquerque. All right.
No?
There's no Denver show. All right. Yeah. Maybe in Boulder, I would. Here's
off campus, of course.
Of course, off campus. Now, I'm going to put this up here just so we can see this, just as, again, the visual of what I was talking about here.
Was this the chart? Okay.
Yeah, so this is shit. What the hell, man?
Yeah, E.J. Smith.
Right. This is E.J. Smith from the Inquirer.
Right.
So that's last week, and this is week 1.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I mean, we're nitpicking a little bit here that there's a throw, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the majority of completions, this is week 1. And this is where I definitely agree wholeheartedly, where Atlanta's not asking you to take advantage of this field by any means. And then you have week 2, where, again, you're getting like, you know, this is gray area here to say that nothing was done in the middle of the field. But I guess
I kind of term that as the middle field around there.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like
in between the numbers, from numbers to numbers, I feel as though it's middle of the field.
So I mean, these two right here, I think, are definitely like, yes, you'd have to side with that.
Yeah, that's more middle.
What are people wanting? Are people expecting to be peppering here and not on the outside?
I don't know that anybody's really wanting anything of yet. It's just interesting to note, you know, the history that, you know, what is developing, you know what I mean? Where he's sort of, you know, through 2 weeks is showing tendencies.
But that's also what the offer. So I guess what I'm trying to balance is.
So that's what I meant by when you look at this one right here. This is what I meant by the middle of the field. Those, to me, those passes are the middle of the field. When you're in between the numbers to numbers, like for me, the middle of the field. You know, on the outside, it's tough on the outside because to me, the outside is the numbers to the sideline.
So you really only have, like, I guess this one could kind of be.
Yeah, that's middle.
That's look
because the numbers are over here.
The numbers are
further out.
Yeah, the numbers are further out. The numbers are like, you know, halfway in between.
Yeah.
The hash mark and the out of bounds line.
This is the middle of the field. This I think you're walking. My opinion, and again, who cares? I get it, but I think that this is towing a line here.
Yeah.
Like
no, you gotta go farther than that.
Well, I just like the way EJ sums it up. He's like, not necessarily alarming in a small sample. It is a small sample.
That's all we've been saying.
Yeah.
Small sample, right? That's all. but it's just something to look at where, like, think about this. We're now having an argument here about whether or not 1 to 2 passes are technically middle to sideline, and it wouldn't really shift the imbalance of one or another, right?
No.
Right.
Like if we gave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
the predominant percentage is still to the outside.
Right, but it just goes about, this is the beauty of it, where nobody's ringing this alarm here, right?
No.
Nobody's ringing that alarm. Man, I'm good with this.
You're good with it. You're like a little telestrator here. It's a shame you can't draw on that.
Trust me. Let me find a program that lets me. I'll be the czar, the junior czar, the telestrator.
Oh, by the way, did you watch the Monday Night Football game last night?
Absolutely. All the way to the end. And I cleaned up.
I watched it through 3 quarters. And it was 28-17. And I figured, Detroit's got nothing. And but I did not move off of the Manning broadcast. I was there the whole night.
I watched Riddick, and I won
you love Lou Riddick.
I won money.
I saw you tweeting about him.
Woo! Boy, I tell you, here's the thing. I saw one person tweet about how it's fun to have Gronk on and all, but we just missed 7 full minutes of analysis.
Yeah, he's terrible.
And I'm thinking to myself, like,
he was awful.
Why?
Yeah, he was awful.
You had to wait 30 minutes to get Eli Manning to break down a cover 1 robber.
No, I was in on
stop.
I was in on Peyton's analysis, and Favre was actually okay. I stayed up for him, but Gronk was terrible. His connection was terrible. He was disinterested. He brought in his dog.
That's what I'm saying, man. This is a referendum on the product itself. What's wrong with listening to Louis Riddick? What's your problem with Lou Riddick?
I don't have a problem with Lou Riddick. I just love the Mannings. I like listening to a quarterback that is cerebral like that talk about what he's seeing on the field. I find that really interesting.
Well, you had a quarterback in Brian Greasy.
He stinks. Stop with Brian Greasy. Come on.
Look, the problem was never the broadcast. The problem was Brian Greasy. Right? Here's the thing.
I just want something different.
Yeah, but no, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
I'm telling you this. If all you did was replace Brian Greasy with Peyton Manning, you would never leave Monday Night Football.
I don't even need the play-by-play guy. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I don't need him. No, because I'm watching the action, just listening to Peyton talk about it. I don't even need to set up the scene and all that stuff. I know the scene.
But the point being is that this relaxed, laid back, top button undone mentality that you think you're getting, that you think you need, you don't. You just don't need Brian Greasy. Like, if you just took Eli or Peyton Manning and put him in that spot with Greasy, so it was Manning, Riddick, and not Eugene, but Steve Levy.
No, I don't even need Steve Levy.
Well, but my point being is that you wouldn't even Steve Levy wouldn't even be registering. You would just get what you want, which is the better quarterback analysis. That's really what you want. It's just being packaged to you in something. You are thinking, I need Coke, new Coke.
No. If you want to throw out or put Lou Riddick in with Peyton and Eli, I'm good. I don't need the other stuff. But I don't need Greasy. I don't need Levy. I don't need the on-field reporter that they wedge in there because they haven't gone to her in 25 minutes. I don't need any of that.
Look, that's the one broadcast that actually utilizes you get injury information that you don't get on the other broadcasts. I need injury information. I need to know if somebody's coming back in on a live bet.
Yeah, I can just tell by the way they went off the field if they're coming back.
That's not true at all. Guys come back a lot.
Yeah.
Half the time you don't even see a guy walking off the field. They don't show you that.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would want to see Rob Gronkowski talk for 7 minutes.
I didn't really care for Rob Gronkowski last night.
That's part of it. But you got to take the good and the bad, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. I never moved. I am bought in on the Mannings.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't believe it, man.
Yep.
Next thing we know, we're going to hear Harry say, man, that 10th Fast and Furious movie was something else. I tell you what, man.
I never saw one of them.
Yeah, you're moving towards that. Trust me.
Yeah, okay.
This is step one. Step one here.
Yeah. What does Barrett have to say? What did you watch last night? Is he muted? Yeah, he's muted. Fantastic.
I watched the game. I did. I loved it. I watched the game. I mean, I enjoyed it. And then, you know what? I also watched the post game.
That's
the post game. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see if he's just going to do what I thought of. If Aaron was going to do exactly what I thought he was going to do.
Yeah.
Say, I told you so. And he said it too. I told you so. You guys are all worried about me. I'm telling you, you ain't got to worry about me. I'm still that guy.
He was also on the field after the game along with Jones. And, you know, he's like, yeah, you know, it was one game. And now basically won one game. It's early.
Right.
So, like, he's not even going, you know, back the other way.
Yep.
No.
He knows what it is.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
they're first in their division.
There was an easy bet last night that needed to happen. And I know Shelton can back me on this because he was watching the show yesterday. But basically, the one way to really capitalize last night was how it played out in the beginning. Detroit needed to get up early or stop Green Bay. There needed to be either a Detroit Lions lead or just a little bit of a back and forth, right?
Yeah. And
the books knew people would overreact. The Packers dropped to, after that first touchdown, they went from an 11.5, 12-point home favorite to a 6.5 home favorite. And then towards the half, before that final field goal, they were an in-game 3.5 favorite, which I nailed both of them on because people are, back to your point, people were like, oh my God, the Packers suck. Oh my God, the Packers are screwed. I'm getting off of this. So it was easy to slide in on that. Man, Green Bay, our ticket is safe. There's no way that I think even after that week 1 loss that we can look at that and be concerned that the Packers are any worse than they were at the start of the season.
Their defense isn't good, though. Their defense is not great. The coordinator they have is a boob.
They've given up a lot so far in the first 2 weeks. I think the biggest concern, though, is that, like, I'm more concerned of the way in which they played. Yes, Aaron Jones, anytime TD, absolutely. Hopefully you played that too. But and Hawkinson, my goodness, he every week.
What is the stream talking about? Don't talk about Fast and the Furious. I mean, you don't like the last Fast and the Furious where they sent a car in space.
You know who else did that? Elon Musk. All right, talk about
that was the worst, man. It was the worst, man. I'm just messing around. Fast. That's the worst, man. They went from submarines to space. Come on, man. I can't do it.
Yeah. I'm just asking you. That's all. But here's the thing. They sent a car to space.
They did. Seriously.
Unbelievable, man. See, I'm telling you.
Really?
Hey, see, Harry's interested now.
No, it was not.
And then the episode before that.
What kind of car was it, Barrett?
Oh man, it was like a Fiat or some Pontiac.
Fiat.
No, Pontiac. What's it called? Remember that little 2-door Pontiac?
Oh, a Fiero.
Fiero.
Yeah.
I think it was a Pontiac Fiero.
My sister had a Fiero for a little while.
I remember guys were taking those Fieros and making them into Ferraris, like kit car Ferraris.
Yeah. They did look like a kit car.
Yeah, it looked like a kit car.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't Exhibit turn one of those 2 doors into something?
Yeah, he did.
Right? I think he did. I think that was like one of the bigger was it Pimp My Ride, right?
Pimp My Ride. That's exactly what it was.
And I think that was like one of the ones they used on the intro where they turned a Fiero into what was the guy's name for The Sopranos?
Who's that?
Which guy?
Fiero, right?
Furio. Yeah. That's Furio.
Furio. They turned it into
Furio was the guy who was after Carmella.
Correct.
He had the crush on Furio. Yeah. Then they had to send him back to Italy.
Correct.
Yeah. Get him out the way for a while.
We got to, not Guy Fieri. We got to take a break here.
Not Guy Fieri.
No, they didn't. You tell me. Fast and Furious 11. When they shoot a car into Flavortown, I'm in. All right. All right. We're back at 3. It's the middle.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the memories. Go to get your spin on. Go to get your spa on. Go for the bubbles in your bathtub and in your drink. Go for the stakes and the steak. Go for him. Go for her. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You Could say that.
Holy shit. Glasses for cocktails, right?
It's for this, 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 and that.
Is the length of the glass equal to your...
You betcha.
But is it made out of...
Glass?
Yeah, okay, but is the rip...
Smooth?
Will you stop doing...
That?
I'm the professional here.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. 1 free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. All from the company that's highly awarded. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and deliciously tasting vodka. So good, it just disappears.
When it comes to the fight against insurance companies, large corporations, and the healthcare industry, injured victims are always the underdog. But that doesn't worry us. At Messa & Associates, we're an injury law firm from Philadelphia, and we come to fight. Our clients know that they've got representation with a chip on its shoulder, and it's the same chip that makes Philly the toughest city in the country. Call 215-568-3500 or visit us online at messalaw.com. Messa & Associates, the toughest injury firm in Philadelphia.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
All right, we have another day here this week to look at this Monday Night Football matchup. We also have an interesting Thursday night game.
Yes. I'm looking forward to that. See if Matt Rule can go 3-0. And they're going up against the backup quarterback, I believe, Davis Mills, right?
Yeah, and this is a 7.5-point line.
Yeah.
I mean, Houston, like you talk about an overreaction. Both teams are coming off short weeks, so that's now moot. How about this, though? Houston had a ridiculous number to cover or to get, even though Tyrod Taylor is way better than people advertise. They actually had a shot to win that game outright last week based on how well Taylor was playing. He goes down, and then Mills hangs around, and, you know, they still cover, by the way, that 13.5, depending on when you got it. So here's the thing, though. Houston plays tight. Davis Mills doesn't throw up all over himself, and they lose by 50. Carolina's 2-0, and they're only laying 7.5.
Well, it's on the road. I mean, that's essentially a 10.5-point number.
I think it should be higher than that, though. Don't you? Houston?
Nah, I don't know. Carolina is not explosive. They're not a team that's going to put 38 on you.
Doesn't need to be a big score, though, just to cover a 10 or 11-point spread against Houston, right?
I just don't know that they have. They're like a team that's going to want to win games like 24-14, 24-17.
Yep.
They're that kind of team.
Yep.
So I don't know that they can. I would never lay 10.5 with Carolina.
No, I'm not asking you.
No.
But I don't think that 7.5. I don't even look at that as just over the key with a hook. I look at that as
it's 8 on FanDuel. Or no, DraftKings, excuse me. It's
really?
8. Yes.
I had it 7.5 this morning. Let me double check on Fox Bet.
It's 7.5 most other places, but looks like DraftKings has it at 8.
8. Okay, so I'm sure you're getting a little bit of a kick on that.
Minus 110.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why you shop around.
Yep.
Seriously. Oh, I go to the book that has Patton Oswalt. Oh, really? Are you getting the best odds? Or
Patton Oswalt. That's enough to make me never go to Caesars.
Right. Exactly.
Seriously.
Right. Exactly right. seriously, it's
that little loser trying to pick up some girl in that commercial. What a joke. Talking about betting hockey. They should have Mertitas in that spot.
Seriously.
Like under 5.5. Oh, good goaltending.
Like awkwardly walking away.
Yeah. Right. We're scratching his beard.
Exactly right.
Good goaltending tonight.
Oh my goodness, man. Hilarious. That's hilarious. I just don't.
We got long ball Larry and Mertitas on the Caesars commercial. That would be fantastic.
What do you say, Harry? What do you say?
What's going on, man?
Exactly. You walk up to that girl. What's going on, man? Right? You know, this all in game, same game thing. My idea, man.
I'm liking the Penguins tonight.
I think you're on to something, man. Would you trust those, by the way?
No.
You wouldn't trust the Mercedes spot?
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness. That's hilarious. I don't know. I'm tempted. You know what? I think this is actually a pretty good teaser. This is teaser. Yeah. This is teaser realm here where you can do
1.5
Carolina down. Yeah. DK has this. I got killed on. I told you I got killed on that. Where they have now the 10 to 13. You can lay the 13-point teaser.
Wow. You can move a number 13 points.
Yep. I did here. Let me see if I.
That's big in college games.
Huge.
Because those spreads are so high.
Right. God, I thought I had this here. This thing here. Yeah. So it's a 10-point teaser. Sorry. This was I did the 10, but you can do the 13. So I moved Denver all the way down to 1, hosting the Jets. Denver -1 hosting the Jets. I moved the Cardinals. Again, this was just to throw in there for some extra value because you needed a third leg. So I moved the Cardinals from 7 to +3, where I didn't gain any value from it except just adding to the ticket. So that's a lot because they're in Jacksonville. So I'm getting 3 points now in Jacksonville. And the one that I'm actually most concerned about is dropping the total with the Eagles-Cowboys game from 51.5 to 41.5. And the reason why I say that is because I dropped that 55-point total last week with the Chargers-Cowboys down 13 points on one of those 13 straight.
Still went way under.
Still under.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, this is back into the convo about the game itself, but I think people expect a shootout between these two teams, and I don't necessarily know if you're going to get that.
No, I think the game's both in 20, 27 maybe is the winning number. 27-20.
27-20?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's you're right, man. When you put in that perspective, that's a lot of points, man.
It is.
Even 21-28, something
I like
that.
Minnesota this week for some reason.
Why?
Yeah.
They have done nothing.
They've lost. Well, here's the thing.
They moved the football.
They lost 2 straight tight games.
Yes.
One in overtime where Dalvin Cook's fumble, if it was reversed, they probably could have won.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I would. What do you think about the teaser with that?
What's that? I'm sorry?
The teaser with that. They're getting 1.5 against Seattle at home. I think they win the game, but throw that in your teaser.
I don't know, man.
No, it's actually 2 at some spots. Seattle's -2.
So
they get a win.
You like Seattle just at home?
No, I like Minnesota against Seattle.
Cover though.
Minnesota.
You're adding 7 points to a teaser, or you just like Minnesota to win the game?
Yeah, I think I like them to win the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's a tough loss they just took at home. Do you guys see that? Derrick Henry with an explosive run. Yeah, this is a good question here from Birdman 990. What broadcast will you be watching Monday night?
Well, are they doing the Manning broadcast for that game? Because they're not doing every game.
No, I think you have like 6 or something like that.
Yeah, it's 6 to 10. They're not doing the whole season. If they're doing the broadcast, I'll do it.
You sure about that?
Well, they're not doing every game. I know that.
But are we sure that they're not doing it this week?
Let me check. Let me see if I can get a Manning broadcasting schedule. I mean, are they calling that the Manning Broadcast Network yet? ESPN2?
You know, what's interesting is it's like, once again, the only thing that rates is our games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this guy Bruce is spending his entire morning complaining about us. It's amazing, and I
Who's
can't.
that?
I don't know, somebody on the stream. I
Oh,
can't.
Bruce Terrell.
Yeah, I can't think. It's Terrell. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Remember Andy Reid? I'd like to welcome Terrell in.
Yeah.
It's Terrell. He hit him. Remember that? He hit him with it.
Yeah.
It's Terrell, and he hit him with the eyes and everything too. It's Terrell.
All right.
I'd like to welcome in Terrell Owens.
Yeah, they're doing 10 games in each of the 3 years. It's a 3-year deal.
So 30 games over 3 years.
30 games over 3 years. Let me see if I can get the games. They should give you maybe they can just sort of make their own schedule as they go. I don't feel like doing it this week. Wouldn't that be great?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they're doing it this game, but if they are, all right, here we go.
12. Okay.
Monday Night Football games featuring the Manning brothers are denoted with the asterisk. Yes, they are doing Cowboys Eagles. I am in.
Barrett,
this is gonna be great.
Break the tie. Now here's the caveat. The caveat is you're allowed plus or minus 5 minutes of real time. So if you wanted to switch over to one and be like, wow, this is dog shit, I'm out, we'll allow you 10 minutes. How about that? 10 minutes of real time. Okay. So nobody should be penalized for their curiosity. Okay.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Wow. Look at this. By the way, real quick, Joey B getting a shout from the sexy Kayla Collins. Joey B is a magnet. I don't know if it's for if that's a real person or not, but Joey B is a magnet when it comes to. I think she just saw Joey's bets.
Hey, boo.
Yeah.
He got a hey, boo.
He did. But here's.
I never got a hey, boo.
No, not even
I got
Barrett
booed.
I got
booed. I didn't get a hey, boo.
No, you exactly right. There needs to be a hey in front of it. You can't count getting booed as a hey, boo. I haven't even seen Barrett. Oh, look at this. She's at it again. Kayla. Here's the thing, though, about
this could turn into like Tinder here, our stream. Can you imagine that? People hooking up on the stream?
When you swipe or block.
Right?
Oh.
Right? Oh, man. What a tournament last night, too. I'll tell you, last night, football's been very, very good to me, man. I'm just going to tell you that. Yeah, I won the nice, what do they call it here? The NFL 3K Mini Max Thursday through Monday. Won that tournament. First and ninth place.
Wow.
Not bad, right?
How many were in the tournament?
A lot. I can tell you how many total entries. But, yeah, this isn't one of these, 100 entry things.
Okay.
And it's a Thursday through Monday thing. The middle.
So it's all the games.
Correct. And that's what I'll leave you with this little strategy here for playing. All right, so football is the most heavily played of all the DFS, right? Because it's football, it's the NFL. The NFL's king. We know that. So what that means is that you have a lot of. I got to get rid of Kayla. I'm sorry. It was nice while it lasted, but she's clearly not here for anything more than botting us. But the thing with these contests is that you have a lot of casuals. You have a lot of people that don't really follow. It's like betting. You have a lot of people that just bet the NFL that don't really pay attention to stuff outside of it, including the NFL. So point being is that you can take advantage of more of the casual mentality. So what I do, and I'll just leave you with this note here, is I play the Thursday through Monday tournaments a lot because people will load up on guys on Thursday night, not realizing that on short weeks, tough nights, especially on the road, it's hard to put up big points. Now, every now and again, you get Thursday night that opened the season, what we saw with Dallas and Tampa. But week in and week out, you have a ton, by the way, of casuals that will just jump in and say, oh, yeah, don't worry, I'm going to load up on Thursday. Oh, Carolina, they're going to roll through Houston.
Right.
So they'll play Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Sam Darnold, all this stuff. They burn out on Thursday, and then you slide in.
Right.
You always have one guy left over for Monday.
Monday night, yeah.
Happened to be Aaron Jones for me.
Oh, if you had Aaron Jones, what do you have, 4 touchdowns?
Yeah, 4 touchdowns. Man.
Yeah,
ridiculous, man. And that's I mean, from last night, I guess that was really the biggest. Was just how ridiculous of a weapon Aaron Jones is, and how underrated. He's never brought up as a top 10. Well, yeah, top 10, but he's never brought up in like the top 5.
No.
And I don't know. Does he have an argument? I mean, he's so versatile.
Yep.
You can run him through the tackles. It's no knock on A.J. Dillon. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Isn't there something to that?
No, he's great out of the backfield. And, Detroit was just dropping 2 safeties most of the night to try to take Devontae Adams away from, or getting beat over the top.
You have to. Yeah, you have to.
And as Peyton was kept on explaining, they're going to test Aaron Rodgers' patience to see if he's going to be patient enough to stick with what, the defense is giving him, tossing it down to the back, checking it down, running the football, that kind of thing. And they did it.
All right, now hold on a second here. We have to stop for just a second, not break, but I want to make sure this is not a bot. This is one of our own. This is one of the folks who have been with us since day 1 on the show, Ash.
Oh yeah,
on the stream saying a Woj grenade.
Oh no,
grenade to me implies a little bit less of like a Woj bomb is something you drop from a plane, right?
Right.
A grenade is something you throw.
Correct.
Any idea what's going on here?
Yeah, I'm just getting in here now. Hold on.
Philadelphia will not report. Okay, well, this is not cool. Hold on.
He will not report for training camp.
Next week, intends to never play another game for the franchise. Hasn't spoken to the team since a late August meeting when he communicated this message to Sixers officials. Look, nothing has changed with this than when we had that Pompey report, than when we had that Brian
Shams, Charania, or whatever.
Right, but here's what this tells me, though. To Ash saying your own thing as well, it's not anything new. It does tell me, though, one thing. I guess this is the thing that you can extrapolate from this report, which is at some point, Daryl Morey may have to settle and will settle. Like, this is not an indication of you don't come back from this type of report, do you? In a month and a half, is everybody going to be sitting around singing that archaic and played out song of dancing and clapping your hands to a Simmons dunk?
No, I mean, he intends to never play another game for the franchise. So, I mean, he's gonna pay the fines. He's content to pay the fines. He gets a big chunk of his money.
He just did,
or he already got it, or so, or he gets it right. In other words, he's going to be fine. He doesn't care. He's just like, screw it, I'll pay the fine.
Before camp, just
trade me.
What is the day before camp? He gets like an $8 million bonus.
Yeah,
or it's like 15% of his salary or something like that. Something crazy.
Yeah. I mean, are you taking him for John Wall? Would you do that deal?
Here's the
if
thing.
There was a dude, you'd have to throw somebody else in because Wall makes like $40 million.
Yeah, you would definitely get something. It would never be a straight up deal.
No,
that's kind of my point here. Is that this is a definitive statement that you don't come back from. So at some point, Daryl Morey is going to have to make a deal that is probably not going to be ideal for him or the team or us or anybody else. And you know what?
Make a deal that he doesn't want to have to make, but he's going to have to make it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because there's no working this thing out. But look, to be fair, Morey probably already knew that, right? He probably already knew that.
So explain exactly what is Daryl Morey's choices? I mean, he really didn't have any choices. His choices ended really that he was going to get a favorable deal when Ben passed up the dunk. It was a wrap after that.
See,
so I don't even know why we're even talking about, more than face value anyways.
I wonder, and I don't know if this ever came up, probably not with you specifically, but if it ever came up, and the NFL is a little different because especially when you played, there was no such thing as a guaranteed check, right? You knew that money could be taken back in fines or something, and it's crazy. But I wonder, and I say this probably believing it, that if Daryl Morey ever had a conversation with Rich Paul, immediately or a text, your boy's cooked, or something like that. Like, are you kidding me? You just screwed me, or something along these lines, especially as soon as he passed that up, right? You wouldn't say that to Ben Simmons himself, but maybe the agent gets that right away from Morey, which is, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
I know you want your guy out. I want to ship your guy out. Can
right. But now he just killed his value. Yeah.
I mean, could you say that to an agent if you're a general manager, right? Look,
yeah, you can say that.
I'm sure that happens
all the time.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. You're killing me here, man. I'm trying to do right by you. I'm trying to get the best deal for you and the best deal for me. And your client is giving me he's giving me nothing here. Everybody around the league has now seen it. We all see it.
We all see it. You're killing me, Smalls.
Right. Yeah. I knew that. I was going to let you do that one.
I mean, there's something to it.
It's been done, man. Like at this point, he's the next he's the next guy that says, all right, then we're just going to get if he gets 2 cents to the dollar, I'll be happy now.
Right.
Because he's not coming back, bro.
Maybe Howie Roseman can help him. He seemed to have been able to finagle something for Wentz.
Yep.
2 twos.
Yeah.
We got 2 twos for him.
Yeah.
2 twos.
And now he's got 2 messed up ankles.
That's why I said
only he injures 2 ankles in the same game. Only him.
Right. How does that happen?
I don't know.
2, both ankles are hurt. We get 2 twos for him. We're still right now $34 million for a player that's not here. I mean, this is atrocious. What are our GMs doing? What are we doing?
I hope they ship him to Minnesota or something.
Well, that's the thing. Where
just some outpost like Sacramento or Minnesota.
Now, can he just not? I mean, what if he doesn't want to go? Can he just say, "Or I can't take that trade. I'm not going"? Because if he does that, we'll still be on the hook for him. They'll be like, "Well, he's not coming, so why do you think that we're gonna we're gonna honor this? We're not gonna honor this trade. He's not coming. What if he says he's not gonna come? See, he really has us by the cojones right now, man.
Well, no, if he gets dealt, right, then he has to deal. He doesn't have a no trade clause. So if he gets dealt and he doesn't show up to the new team, he still loses money.
Right, but do we get whatever compensation coming back? Like, can the deal be null and voided?
No.
I guess is the question.
Right, that's what I want to see.
If he just says through Rich Paul, "Hey, you trade me to Minnesota, I ain't showing up."
Right.
Minnesota may say, "I'm not going to do that," or Minnesota may say, "We're going to call your bluff."
Right.
You're on our team. You're on our roster. You have a contract.
Right.
And at that point, the fine may be bigger than simply where you're under contract now. But again, some of that money that's guaranteed is coming from the Sixers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't get transferred over. Off the books money that's guaranteed doesn't get transferred over to Minnesota. That's
right.
The Sixers. So Minnesota may be like, hey, we're not on the hook at all until this guy shows up and plays. What's he going to do? Is he going to sit out? Is a guy who refuses to shoot going to sit out the entire season and expect that we then trade him?
Yeah. And I see Ash on the stream says, doesn't Simmons understand that if he improved his game, he'd have more trade suitors? I don't even think he cares about improving his game.
He doesn't. His feelings are hurt. His feelings are hurt. Big baby, his feelings are hurt, bro. He's sensitive, man.
He's already made a couple of all-star teams and, second, third team, whatever, all NBA for doing what he's doing.
He's hitting us with the Ralph Tresvant, man. Sensitivity, man. Come on, man. Grow some, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I think there's something to that.
Because they could be, if he doesn't go, if he doesn't show up, then that team's not going to be on the hook for that. They're going to say, well, he didn't come, so this deal isn't done.
Right.
He'll do something like that, man.
Oh, look at you. Will you boo Ben Simmons when he comes back as an opposing player? Is that tomorrow's morning show poll question on a certain radio station?
I put the over at 1.5 for a show that will kill a day doing that. I even juiced it to the over.
You boy, Ben Simmons. Ow, 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 ow. I can hear it now.
Telling you, man. You think that's why I put 1.5. I threw a little hook in there. It's not an easy.
Kenny up, Kenny.
Seriously, I wish it was just one show. Jeez. Oh, it's going to be an easy one there, and it will be threaded. It'll be a poll question that will coincide with an Eagles topic that's absolutely ridiculous. does something with Nick Sirianni? And then all of a sudden, you're going to have the poll take over the show because people will start calling about that. And next thing you know, it's like, we did a hell of a job today, folks. Everybody should be proud of the work that we did today. All right, we got to take a break here. Second hour coming up. More on this Cowboys-Eagles game, right? You got any angles here on this game? We have an extra day to work on it. So,
I might be looking at a team total.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we should look at that.
Me and John Jansen took the Atlanta Falcons team total over on Sunday, and it hit.
Okay, so
it was 19.5 against Tampa.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Let's get into that. Some more on this game itself. We got a lot here in the second hour. It's the middle. Make sure you smash away on that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're not already to the JAKIB Media YouTube page.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the memories. Go to get your spin on. Go to get your spa on. Go for the bubbles in your bathtub and in your drink. Go for the steaks and the steak. Go for him. Go for her. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. One free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Beyond Cooley Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Beyond Cooley Law Firm. Find out why they say, we got this.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
K-State has Oklahoma State this week.
Yeah, good games.
Yeah.
Good game.
Might be an under.
It is going to be an under.
I think it's like 45.5. It's pretty low.
Kansas State struggles to put up points.
So you're telling me this might be a short-lived top 25 stay?
Out of all.
Yeah, they're on the road at Stillwater too.
They just moved that game to they moved the game
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Does UCLA bounce back this week at Stanford?
Yep. I think they will.
Chip
Kelly's speed.
Some of the times with these college teams, when they lose a game early that they don't think they should have lost, they come out flat the next week.
Yep.
What's that?
Going through some college games.
Oklahoma's a good play.
I couldn't believe Arizona State beat BYU though. I mean, Arizona State lost to BYU.
They lost, yeah. Man, I will lay 28.5 all day with Oregon against Arizona. That seems almost too low.
It does.
Arizona stinks.
What's the line on Villanova Penn State?
There is none that I see.
29 or so. Then I saw it off the books. Here's the thing, though. Villanova is not terrible in their FCS conference, right?
Yeah, no, they're decent.
And another thing too, they have James Madison 2 weeks from now. They have a bye in between Penn State and JMU.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest question that I would have betting this game is not how soon, let's say, Penn State moves to their 2s or even 3s, but does Nova keep their starters in? Because I like Nova's 1s against Penn State's bench, even deep bench, in the second half. And that's you laugh, Barrett, but that's how backdoors happen, man.
Yeah.
That's how Alabama and Mercer, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm telling you, exactly. And
Alabama Mercer.
2 straight weeks with Army, right? So I guess my point would be, based on the fact that Nova has a bye after Penn State and goes up against arguably the best team in their conference in JMU, wouldn't it stand to reason that they would keep their 1s in even if they were getting beat up by 25, 35, even 40 points?
Sometimes, coaches be like, my young guys need to play also. Even though we're losing.
And this is a once in a lifetime experience for them to play at Happy Valley. I want, we're getting beat by 5 touchdowns. I want to get my second string quarterback in here.
And plus, with it being, but interstate school, you know what I mean, and some of those kids wanted to go to Penn State, but couldn't go to Penn State. I tell you, it's gonna be a good game, man. This West Virginia Oklahoma game.
Yeah.
I think West Virginia might get them.
Go West Virginia.
Yep. Virginia might
jump
get
on the fighting Kevin Kincaids. The fighting Mike Gills. I can't believe we know so many people that went to West Virginia.
Mike Logan.
Yeah. Didn't Rothstein go there too?
I think so.
Yeah.
Really? I don't think so. Ryan,
I don't think so.
I think he did.
Okay. West Virginia, though, is like
my boy AB. Aaron Beasley went there.
Well,
yeah, of course, yeah.
That's a guy that counts.
Pottstown's own.
These other people don't count. They were just there burning couches on their porch.
Yeah, drinking IPAs.
Yeah, Aaron Beasley was the reason why they were burning couches. So
yeah,
he definitely gets mentioned. I'm surprised you guys are on that. I think this is a perfect bounce back opportunity for Oklahoma that looks sluggish and slow and just bad at times against Nebraska.
Yeah.
But you guys like the other side?
I do because West Virginia has a lot to prove, man. Like that conversations up there aren't the average conversations for a team that when they lost to Maryland, it really affected them in a way, like in a positive way. Like they're like, well, we're going to show everybody now. We're not that team that lost.
Yeah, beating Virginia Tech.
Yep.
Yeah, that was an impressive win. But isn't that letdown city? You come off a home win against a ranked team. You're going up against another team.
I don't think you have a letdown when you're playing Oklahoma, though.
No.
I mean, I think you're amped for that game.
It's top. They're tops in the conference. You know what I mean? Like when you say the Big 12, and in their conversation, we're talking to their coaches. The tops in their conference is Iowa, Oklahoma. I mean, not Iowa, but Iowa State, Oklahoma, and Texas.
Yeah. Plus, this team's leaving the conference, man. You want to kick them in the ass on their way out the door.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's a night game. That's one of the TV games. It's got to be the feature game, right?
Yeah, it has to be. 7:30.
Yeah. How has this Spencer Rattler looked thus far? 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 75% completion. Not too bad. 761 yards.
What also might be a pretty good game? Michigan Rutgers.
Yeah. Rutgers is 3-0, aren't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How many 3-0 teams are not in the top 25?
I'm not sure.
Probably not meant like, teams that are playing in a conference, not,
right.
playing in a situation that we haven't, that are made up schools or something like Army, made up program that they are. Jeez. Coastal laying 36 at home against UMass. UMass might be one of the worst teams in college.
Yeah, they are.
Any interest there?
Yeah. I like it.
No line on the Temple Wagner game? That's an outrage.
You want to put a line on that game?
I'm gonna talk about it. No.
Why not?
Where you going now? You going Al's minus 16.5?
Well, you're the Temple guy.
Yeah.
Can you put a line on that? And then
I know nothing about Wagner though. How bad are they?
They're 0-3.
0-3.
Yeah. And who have they played?
What conference are they in? Do we even know? The Northeast.
Yeah, aren't they with like Monmouth?
Yep, that's a great call.
Yeah.
St. Francis is in this.
Right.
Well,
St. Francis of Assisi.
Oh, that's right. The Pine Bowl is coming up at St. That was the last game at St. Francis.
Okay.
Yeah. They got smashed their first game against Buffalo. That's all. I just watched that game at Total West. I shouldn't have watched the game. They got Central Connecticut State. They played Central Connecticut State. Lost to them.
That's probably a conference game.
It is. It is a conference game. Yeah. CCon is definitely Northeast material.
Are they in there with Stony Brook too?
They'd
probably be in that league.
Yep. Wait a second.
They played Del State and Fordham also.
Oh yeah.
Played them also,
for some reason, I thought Stony Brook was D2, right? Or did they bump up?
No, they're the same.
Stony Brook
LIU.
Stony Brook played Temple a couple years ago.
Yep.
It looks like
they're in FCS.
FCS. Okay,
Yeah,
so it
they
looks
are.
like Central Connecticut State. What's STFRPA?
St. Francis of
St.
PA.
Francis. There you go. St. Francis, PA. BRY, right? So you've got
BRY. Is that Bryant?
I think it is. Yep. Bryant, Merrimack, Duquesne. Yeah, Bryant Bulldogs 1 and 2 overall.
Wow.
Merrimack, Duquesne, Long Island University Post. Whatever.
Merrimack's like a hockey school. They have a big hockey program.
NEC has to be a hockey conference.
Mm-hmm.
All of these schools,
like
right?
Quinnipiac.
Yeah, Sacred Heart as well.
Quinnipiac.
Yeah.
Fairfield.
I tell you, man. At least Fairfield is on the coast.
Right.
Camden, Connecticut is nothing going on there by any means. Wow.
I didn't know Wagner had a football team.
Do they? Quinnipiac?
I didn't know Wagner had a football team.
No.
I'm doing my research. Yeah. The
Look,
Seahawks.
Barrett, I don't think they did either. I think they just showed up one day.
Yeah.
I think a guy just showed up one day and was like, "Hey, I'm the coach, man."
That's where Rich Kotite went.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that tells me everything I need to know.
Staten Island, baby.
Well, Long Island U Post, LIU Post.
Yeah, that's CW Post. That's who Barrett called out at West Virginia.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, what game do you have this week?
He's got Temple Wagner.
Temple Wagner.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you had that game.
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm not saying anything about it, man? I'm not talking about lines or anything else.
Wow.
I'm talking about who they played, but that's it.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, I didn't realize that you had. Well, okay, so is this going to be a bigger blowout than 66-0 that you had? Like, could Temple actually do it? Could Temple hang 60 on a team this year?
No way. Not with a true freshman quarterback. Offensive line issues, even though it's like they're more senior class of guys are on the offensive line. They're not playing well. They're committing too many freaking penalties.
And that's what's killing them, man.
Yeah.
They commit penalties. I mean, stupid penalties, bro.
Yeah. No. Yeah, they'll win. They'll win by 4 touchdowns.
Okay. So the line, I think a good line would be 18.5.
Oh, yeah, I'm going over that.
Going over? What about 21.5 then?
Yeah, I'd go over that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they have a freshman starting for him right now, man.
Temple.
Dwayne Mathis, yes.
Yeah, but he win the job.
He's not the quarterback right now, though. If he got hurt, it's Lynch, who's another true freshman.
No, he's a true. And then Mathis transferred in.
Right, from Georgia.
Lynch, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Lynch is a recruit out of Chicago because his brother played for the coach at Northern Illinois.
Got it.
So he recruited the younger brother. That's
right.
him.
His brother. That's right. His brother was good.
Yeah, they liked it. They like this kid. But he's like 18 years old. He's literally like 18.
Yeah, that's
insane. So
man, this is
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Mathis didn't look that hot anyways when he was playing.
No, and then he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He banged up his ankle. He was limping around for a couple of series. So it's going to be a bad game. I'm playing golf on Saturday. I'm not even going.
I'll tell you, man. I might.
You know what I was going to say? I was like, yeah, Harry, you got to come up there with me, man.
No. You know what it would go? I'd have to go through all kinds of hoops. It's at the link to get a media credential with all this COVID nonsense.
I tell you, here's the thing. It's not worth it.
No.
Why would you go to the link to watch this game, though? Wouldn't you want to save that for like a real game?
Well, like they play Memphis there in a few weeks.
Yeah, just give me something. Like, why would you want to go to a link game for Wagner?
No, it's a good point. It's a fair point.
Just play it on the street. Play it at parking lot E.
Right. They should just play it in the Jetro lot. Like roll out a turf field,
right?
And set up a couple of goalposts and do it in the Jetro lot.
I'm telling you, do that on like a day ahead of time, or just move it to Sunday.
Mm.
You know, move it to Sunday morning and let that thing roll at like 10 o'clock in the morning, right up until an Eagles home game. And now you actually have something in the parking lot. Charge money for that.
Right.
All Temple games should be played at the Jetro lot outside leading up to Eagles home game.
Until they get back to being a semblance of what they were in 2015,
right.
2016.
Right. You're not allowed inside. It's like Harry going through these COVID loops. You're not allowed in there until you can prove something.
Right. I'm not getting a swab shoved up my nose for Wagner Temple. That's the bottom line.
No. Unbelievable.
You know what I mean? I hate to do it to you, Barrett. You're getting paid to be there. I'm not.
Right. That's a big difference.
That's a big difference.
Now you have to do that.
Man, y'all are terrible, man.
Yeah.
That's terrible, man.
I have to do what?
No, you have to do that every time, right? To prove so Johnny Mack is down there getting shoved up every single time?
I guess.
Oh, I tell you, man, that's terrible. Unbelievable.
Johnny Mack is all over the JAKIB Media YouTube channel on game days, man.
Oh, is that right?
Pre-game, halftime, post-game, you name it. He's all over the place.
Very important people, bro.
Interesting.
Very important people.
Didn't know that. Good for John. He's working like a dog. Joey B's out there fading McMullen. Is McMullen giving picks?
McMullen's giving picks?
I didn't know that.
Jody gives picks. I don't know if he does it on the Birds 365.
Oh, he better be.
But he would always do the 6-pack of picks.
Right. Speaking of which, I am 8-4 on our 6-pack of picks each week so far on props and locks. I have to give out 6 winner like games, not spread or anything like that, just straight up. That's the thing that Terry Bradshaw's doing, where you could win all this money.
Oh, okay. Now
so they make me do it.
What do you do? Do you just lock in on the number on Friday?
Well, what do you mean?
Like if you give it out on Friday night on the show.
No, so we tape Thursdays.
Okay, you tape Thursdays. So do you not lock in on that number then? Because what if the line changes a half a point, point and a half by Sunday? Do you just stick with the thing you gave out on Thursday?
So 2 parts to that question. We're 19-9 on the show against the spread. So everything that I give out on Thursday during tape is locked in as far as a line is concerned. That's why we got the Niners at 7.5 and the Eagles at 3 because of Niners at 3, part of me. So we locked in on that. Same thing. The games that I'm picking, the 6 games that I'm picking are not ATS. They're just straight up.
Oh, okay.
So there's no line there to mess with or anything like that.
Okay, so that's like Terry Bradshaw because he never uses the line either.
Exactly. Yeah. So I have 2 different ways in which I can be screwing people over. And look, I'll take through 2 weeks, 19-9 ATS.
Mm-hmm.
Happy with that. We went 12-4 yesterday.
Yeah.
Or
12-4 on Sunday?
Yeah, 12-4 from Thursday's show. I went 12-4 ATS.
You give out every game?
We give out the Eagles game and the other 3 NFC East games, and then I pick 6 other games that we do. But here's the thing. Last week, for example, I didn't play, and this is why I like the show, is they allow me to not only say don't play this, but explain why. So last week for the Eagles game, the only thing I played on the show was under. I went under. I said, stay away from the line at 3.5. It's a trap. I don't like it. And it's just way too much of a risk to have a hook involved in that. So we played the under, and the line was a stay away. So that allows me to. That's all. That's all. Beautiful. But I'll take the record, man, by all means. And we give a college. We give a college play out. So Penn State, we went 2-0 with Penn State laying the points on the under, and then also got bit in the ass 2 weeks in a row by Army. Can't make any disparaging remarks about Army, of course.
Yeah.
But my God, I am done with that squad.
They can score.
Yeah, but they get 2 straight weeks they've given up a backdoor. And last week was to UConn, who shouldn't even be allowed to play football.
What did UConn end up scoring in that game? Like 20 points?
Yeah, you'd have to pull it up here because I have hands full at the time. But yes, it was close to that. Again, it was a ridiculous backdoor cover that had nothing to do with anything. They just felt bad. UConn returned a kick for 100 yards. 100 yards. What?
That's a killer.
Seriously.
Texas A&M against Arkansas is a good one on Saturday.
Arkansas has been sneaky good this year.
Yeah.
They had a really slow start in week 1 and they eventually get that cover.
Over Rice.
They have been against Rice.
They smoked the Texas Longhorns.
Yep.
That was crazy, man.
Yeah. And they got Georgia the next game after this.
Yeah.
I tell you, that's so rough. They're playing in that SEC West.
Can you imagine that?
It's like week after week. Like you're begging for like a Missouri. Well, they're in the East. They're in the East. But like who's the donkey in the West? Like who's the worst team?
Vandy?
Are they in the West?
Yeah,
I think they're in the East too.
UT's in the East too, right?
Yes. Yeah, the East is. I mean, Florida and Georgia basically have a cakewalk to Atlanta.
Right.
It's whoever wins the outdoor cocktail parties going to Atlanta.
Yeah. So do you have that real quick though? Now I'm peaked.
I'm looking at their schedule.
Who is the West, though?
They have A&M
in the West.
A&M at Georgia, at Mississippi, who's good. Maybe Mississippi State would be like your donkey this year.
I'll give you that.
Memphis beat them last week. Then at Georgia, at Mississippi, Auburn. Then you get a week off with Arkansas Pine Bluff. See, and they get ripped for playing teams like this. But man, what else are you gonna do?
You're
playing like NFL light teams week after week after week.
Right. No, Mississippi State, who is not bad. I mean, LSU, I guess, was looked at as somewhat. All of these teams, in comparison to Alabama or the firepower with Ole Miss, are not going to be up there. But if you just compared LSU, like if you took the bottom 3 teams in the SEC West and you compared them to the top 3 teams in every other conference around the country, how noticeably different do you think the gap would be? Now it's glaringly different against Alabama and Ole Miss, even Arkansas, who stepped in this, right?
Yeah, but now you're taking the SEC West, or you're throwing Vandy in there because Vandy's not good.
I'm taking never good. I'm taking Vandy out of this. Their offense, they don't have an offense, so I'm not taking. I'm saying just the SEC West because I think our argument over on the whole here is that the SEC West is basically an impenetrable force of football teams from top to bottom.
Well, they gotten a little bit weaker, like with LSU falling off.
They're down a little bit.
Texas
this year,
A&M, not Texas A&M, but Auburn. But I remember, dog, 5 years ago, that the West was just murderer's row, man. They were just knocking each other off, and Alabama just molding. I mean, just plowing through everybody. But come on, man, Mississippi State was good back then.
Yeah.
But are they really Barrett? Are those 3 teams in Auburn, LSU, Mississippi State? I guess this is the question. Because your point is accurate 100%, where they are no longer like Auburn, LSU aren't hanging with Alabama anymore.
Well, we just saw Auburn match up against Penn State.
Pretty okay after playing 2
on the road. On the road.
Yeah, two cupcakes.
Yeah.
I mean, they played Alabama State and Akron.
Right.
but I guess that's the gray area here, Barrett, to your point that I was trying to figure out, where the SEC West is no longer like Alabama no longer sweats bottom teams in the SEC West, but do teams in other conferences, especially power conferences, like LSU traveling to Oregon, or maybe it's the other way around, Oregon.
They went to UCLA.
Or the UCLA, like these teams coming to Mississippi State or LSU or Auburn, do we look at that as a mismatch like we would Alabama, Ole Miss, Arkansas because of the gap being so wide in the SEC? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but not anymore. I don't think they do anymore. You're right, man, because you look at it now. I can remember when LSU went up there and played Wisconsin, with Penn State just playing Auburn. Those used to be, battles, heavyweight battles, and they were like the third or fourth team in the conference in the West.
Right.
So, you're right. It's not the same, man. But I mean, if you just look at it, from my perspective, I'm looking at it and say, man, look at how many NFL athletes come out of the West. And when you put it in that perspective, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Loaded.
I mean, these are all first round draft choices. You could take their five. I mean, their five, and they probably have in the West. There might be half of almost 3/4 of the first round, just from guys that played in the West. That's ridiculous.
Is that the NFC West now? Like, is what you're explaining with the SEC West become the NFC West now?
Absolutely.
Well, look in the NFC, like the NFC South with Tampa, Carolina, and then it's kind of a drop off.
I just don't know what to make in New Orleans, man.
Yeah,
right?
I don't either.
Like, that's a really disappointing loss for them after just lights out week one. That's a really big gap of productivity. So yeah, there's probably a middle ground there, Harry, right?
In the NFC North, Green Bay, and then maybe a Minnesota. I mean, Chicago and Detroit. I know, but I think they're much better than that. I really do.
I agree with you, Harry, but they could be 0-3 to start the season.
Well, that's only because everybody's hurt. I mean, their rosters, they got so many guys on IR. That's what's going on.
Are you going to give me the Herb Smith narrative now? I remember people were trying to push this thing like, oh, the Vikings in trouble because of Herb Smith. But look, I think, Cook played through that ankle injury last week.
Yeah, and he played well.
These guys are playing hurt if they're out there in the first place, to Barrett's point. Coming back from an 0-3 hole.
Yeah. I mean, it's 9% you make the playoffs
Really?
if you're 0-2. What about 0-3? That's got to be like next to 2 to 3%.
Non-zero chance, but not great.
You can't do it. Yeah.
Like, I think it's barely above a 0% chance that you make.
Yeah.
Chicago, though, your point about Detroit. There's no other division where, look, even the Raiders doing what they're doing, Denver's 2-0. The AFC West has an argument because the Chiefs lost that first game, but I don't know. NFC West, who's the odd man out? Who's the weak team in the NFC West?
I don't know. Rams look really, really good. We just saw the Niners. They're good. They're solid.
They're bad.
Arizona. I want to watch Arizona. I want to watch that team. I gotta pay more attention to them.
Yeah, and as great as Derek Carr's playing, and I don't take anything away from this young man by any means, but look, I saw people are trying to anoint him. If the season ended today, he'd be the MVP.
Yeah, because he's got over 800 yards passing.
Wouldn't that be Kyler Murray?
I'm thinking so too. I mean, he had 80% completion last week.
80%.
80%.
I just don't know how you stop that. And look, these throws he's making are insane.
Yeah.
He's throwing across his body and up in the air.
Yeah.
Like 20 yards down the field, Barrett.
You got that Rondale Moore kid from Purdue, who's like an afterthought on that team. You got Christian Kirk. You got A.J. Green, right? And DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah. Think about that.
Bro, come on, man. Listen to what you just said, man.
I know.
That's crazy to have that much talent on one team, on one side of the ball.
Moore was such a game breaker too in college, right?
Oh, Purdue? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This kid who could kill you on 2 plays all game. but those would be 86-yard scoring plays where he would break like 3 tackles.
Like when they beat Ohio State a few years ago at home at night. Yeah, I think he had a pretty good game that week. Yeah.
Right? And like a fool, I went under his passing total this year because I thought there'd be too many people around him.
So that's legit, though. I mean, how do you take reps away from Green? And
I didn't think that would happen, Barrett.
Exactly.
That's my point. But here's the problem, though, is that he's got such big play capability. He's already at a third of his season total at 575.5 through 2 games.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes.
Man.
If the season ended today. I love those, man. Those are the best. All right, we got to take a quick one here. Harry has an angle. You have a team total on this Eagles-Cowboys game? Right?
Maybe, yeah.
All right, we got to get into that here. And did you see any more film from Sunday at all?
Yeah, I watched the game again today.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we need.
All right, bet.
All right, we need something because we can't do the breakdown, like the physical breakdown, the tape, right? We'll get in trouble on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we need to find out if you have extrapolated anything more from the game tape. Key information here. We cannot let go unspoken, okay?
All right, bro.
All right, hit that thumbs up button, smash away, and please, you want to pay us back for this amazing content that we give you from Birds 365 through the middle, through Dan Cilio's football show, to any and every time you see John McMullen's mug on here. Subscribe to the channel. That is humongous for us. We appreciate the comments and everything else, but really, subscribing, interacting goes a long way and helps us out. We're back in 3 here on the middle.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the memories. Go to get your spin on. Go to get your spa on. Go for the bubbles in your bathtub. And in your drink. Go for the steaks. And the steak. Go for him. Go for her. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. 1 free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Bianculli Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Now, what do you think about this solution here?
What's that?
I think the Sixers should have Tyrese Maxey ring the first bell of the season. It would be the ultimate display of honoring the youth, the new regime that is Maxey and what he represents, as well as a ridiculous amount, subtle as it may seem in the surface, of pettiness.
Mm-hmm.
the man who is charged with replacing. I mean, it would be like giving the number that Barrett Brooks sweat and soiled through in order to help win the Steelers a Super Bowl to a punter. Well, I don't want to say that. Tyrese is better than that. It would be like bringing in somebody brand new, right? Whatever analogy you want. That's probably not the best analogy. Point being is that I think this speaks for itself.
Well, and what if he also wears a Joel Embiid themed T-shirt while ringing the bell?
Oh, you can't help yourself.
You know, I really want to see
Tyrese Maxey, not Nick Sirianni, Harry. Sorry.
So what do you think? What do you think Embiid says after the deal is done? Does it come out that, all right, I hated that little MF anyways?
Nah, I don't think so.
I think it's going to take some time, but here's the thing. Whoever gets the book rights to the breakup of Simmons and Sixers is going to make some money, because I would bet that people, once this thing blows over, and maybe it's look, we needed a 30 for 30 decades after Jordan and the Bulls broke up, right?
Right.
So maybe this takes some time, but I would bet money that somebody's going to get Embiid in a book or some sort of think piece years down the road saying, I couldn't wait, man. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait for them to get rid of this kid. Right?
He was such a B.
You don't think that would be more from Ben Simmons' side than Embiid?
Probably.
Yeah.
But here's
no, you don't?
No.
Do you run risk? I'm curious, Barrett. Why do you? And I don't necessarily disagree by any means. I'm just curious why you jumped in on the no so fast.
Because Embiid is what the team is about. He's been carrying Embiid for the long. Embiid's been carrying Simmons for the longest, anyways. The team runs through him, and he's finally going to get an opportunity now to bring somebody in to help take some of the burden of that scoring off his back, man.
Interesting. I wonder if Simmons realizes that by opening up a conversation, he then invites people on the team to out stuff that he was doing.
Right.
Like, I have nothing to hide about my time at 97.5, so I can rip and rip and rip away. And I invite people publicly to have conversations to defend what was going on there. Maybe Simmons is like, man, you know, I start throwing shots. I start hitting people up with a little bit of a 38 special. Pow, pow, pow. Then Embiid comes back and empties an automatic clip on me.
Empties the clip.
Right.
Because he didn't fire the first shot.
Exactly. But he's got all the ammo.
Right.
Right? I don't know. Think about this. For about 2 years or so, it was in vogue to leave Green Bay and rip Aaron Rodgers. We don't see that anymore. We don't see that at all anymore.
Yep.
Michael Finley came out and was like, hey, man, I'm going to do this. I'm going to step up and tell you that Aaron Rodgers is POS and all this other stuff. And for, like 2 weeks or so, it was news and he was doing hits and all that. But then after a while, it just kind of died down. And I wonder if the team or Rodgers, the influence or anything, and I'm, deferring to Barrett, who's been in all this shit. But I wonder if it was just difficult for JaMychal Finley and others who have vocally criticized the team to just maneuver in that world, right?
Well,
something along those lines.
At this point, man, there's going to be something to come out. But you just don't leave like that, because, at the end of the day, he screwed his boys, man. He screwed them guys, bro. By not taking that shot, he bitched out on him, man.
Yeah, and it's
point blank.
A big deal that Doc Rivers comes in here, takes a look at what he has with Ben Simmons for the year, and in that playoffs year, and then being such a player's coach, he had nothing really. He was just playing. Yeah, we're gonna work on it. We're gonna work with him. He didn't really take up for him. You know what I mean?
Right, and that's why he feels. That's why he feels all like, oh, they didn't want me there anyways.
Yeah,
come on, man. You get paid to do. You get paid to play a game, man. To go out there, use your athletic talent to help them win. When you're not using,
he lost the respect of his teammates when he did that thing in the playoffs. That's really the backbreaker.
And that's what I mean, man. Yeah. Come on now. Embiid almost went into it. He was like, Remember when they asked him about it?
Mhm.
Well, you know, and
that was the turning point of the game.
Yeah.
Is basically what he said.
Exactly.
Was everything too.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he tried to double down on that or just double back on it and say that that wasn't the case, what he said in the post game and what he said following all of that countered the body language that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
And how many times just look, you don't need to have played a sport to recognize body language. It helps.
Right.
But we all saw it. We all saw
it.
Right? We all saw him piss the hell off. Are you kidding me? And you know, that seemed like I don't want to go full psychologist here because that's not fair to Embiid, but it did not seem like it was the first time he's ever had that reaction at all. Maybe he's had that reaction in practice.
Yeah.
Maybe he's had that reaction in a conversation about, like, I don't know. It just did not seem like it was the first time ever.
All right, my team total. What do you think about this, Eytan? Under on the Dallas Cowboy team total of 28.5 at -120. I think they get to 27-28, but not higher.
28.5 is a good number.
Yeah.
I like that.
The Eagles team totals 23.5.
Ooh. Okay, so
27-24 gets you a double winner.
You're at 51, so you're still under that number, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are we, 51.5?
I believe so.
See, I went over.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that was one of the first things I did, was just because I thought this would go. Let me see here. Maybe I didn't. I thought I did.
You've got so many plays you can't keep track.
No. It's not even that, man. I'm slowing down significantly here. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 look ahead plays. That was it. But I'm just trying to see the total now. Is okay, so it's at 52.5. It did go up a point.
Okay.
And I put a tweet out saying I'm going to jump in over. I guess I never backed it up. I never backed that tweet up. I must have been blacked out, but I put the 51.5 up there.
I must have been blacked out.
Who knows, man? I can be blacked out from exhaustion nowadays. Trust me. But
now the first team to score.
I like that though, Harry. I like your team totals.
What about first team to score? Eagles +110.
That's tough. Detroit had a really good number last night. First team to score. How about this? First team to score and win or lose. Let's bump it up a little bit. Eagles, I have at 105. What do you have? First team to score? Eagles?
First team to score is +110.
All right, so I have 105. That's fine. 110. 110's the play. But how about this? Eagles to score first and win +350. Eagles to score first and lose +270.
I don't even see that here.
Well, it depends on the book you're at. Right?
Yeah, I don't see it here. I'm on DK right now.
They're a little tricky. It's probably there. You just have to look for it. Let's look at this really quick. Let's look at this, and I'll put it back to you guys. Forget spread, forget number, forget anything betting standpoint. Barrett, don't even think about it. Just who wins the game?
Eagles.
Really? Okay. Now think about it. Why?
At this point, I think they have more weapons right now on the offensive side of the ball. They really do.
Even with the two backs.
Even with the two backs.
Even with Tony Pollard, league MVP.
I like Dallas.
Okay. So Harry likes Dallas. Barrett likes Philly.
Not necessarily to cover 4, though, but to win the game.
I'm just saying to win or lose. Forget the spread, forget the number, forget all that crap. I'm just saying just win the game. I'm sorry, Barrett.
I mean, look, they only have 3 receivers right now, man.
Right.
Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and they're reaching now. Noah Brown, nah, doesn't do anything for me. Cedric Wilson, nah, doesn't do anything for me. At this point, you look at defensively. Defense, they have so many guys that are not playing for them. They still have Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith,
right?
But now they put the rookie out there at defensive end. He's not gonna be able to hold up. Can you see him trying to hold up against Jordan Mailata? I can't see it happen.
Move him around.
That's yeah. Here's the thing.
No Brandon Brooks, no Brandon Graham.
Well,
No.
yeah, you're right about that. But then I turn around with that, and then I give you. They just gave what's his name all that money.
Sweat.
Josh Sweat.
Yeah,
$40 million.
Yeah.
So they're gonna play him for sure.
They're moving on from Barnett.
I forget who it was, and part of me for not crediting who it was. I just can't scroll back to all of these right now. But somebody put on the stream that Derek Barnett's penalty was a spite penalty for giving Sweat all that money.
I saw that too. Yeah, I saw that too.
Are you going to pay his ass, huh?
Yeah,
All right.
I'll show you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Only Aaron Rodgers would spite a team to the point in which it would be a loss to prove a point. We saw that week one.
Week one, yeah.
I think that's going back in hindsight. I think he sent a message to Gutekunst and said, "You want to see what life is like without me?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Take your Jordan Love.
Seriously, you want to see what Jordan like? This is life without me."
It was
Just
Jay
so
Koch on the stream. That Barnett penalty was out of spite for the Sweat signing. Jay Koch.
I'm telling you, man.
Not Ed Koch.
No, not Ed Koch.
Yeah.
Although I think Ed Koch would be just as good at this point.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You can't tell me that's never happened, Barrett.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Somebody misses a block, misses a tackle, but doesn't that also hurt you too?
Yeah, of course.
Like you don't have the benefit of the doubt when your agent is talking to another team to remind your agent, hey, when they bring up that penalty where I blew the game, just tell them it was out of spite for them giving money to somebody else. Like, I don't think that's going to work in a job interview, right?
No, that's not exactly a team mentality.
No.
Speaking of team mentality, are you betting the Ryder Cup?
Not until I talk to you and two other people that I trust.
Okay.
I don't lie. What do you think this is? I just jump in on stuff and bet it blindly?
Team Europe is plus 200, USA minus 200.
Do we need to bring our buddy Ryan on, and the two of you can give us some plays here?
Yeah, I think Ryan was in the area the other day. He didn't give us forewarning.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was at a tournament over at Bluestone, which is in Bluebell.
That's where Evan Macy from Philly Voice plays.
Okay. Yeah, I've played over there for the first time ever this May.
It's a really nice course.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
It's tight, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah.
that's what I remember is you can't
very
really
undulated greens.
Be really hard for Barrett to work that one iron.
Right.
At that place.
Yeah, it doesn't really set up for that one iron game.
No. No.
So these guys saying that's why my game isn't getting even better.
You need to get yourself a very forgiving big driver.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's next. That's next on my Christmas list.
Okay.
That's next.
Wow.
Now, last week I got an email from the people at WinBet that said, I was trying to pull this back up, that gave me the 3 games that they were most liable for, right? Like the ones they were sweating out the most. None of them hit. Isn't that amazing?
Yep.
Rams minus 3.5.
Yep.
There was a total in there that didn't hit. And then there was the Houston Texans money line that I guarantee, I tell you, would have hit.
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor didn't go down.
They like saying that they have exposure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We have exposure on the Detroit Lions on Monday night. So basically,
That's right.
Basically, we want the Packers to cover. So now, did you see there was a college story of a college coach?
Not the Rutgers story, right?
No. Apparently, some suspensions going on with their defensive backfield. No, there's a coach that coaches in the FCS level, and he wants to buy fans a beer if they show up for the game.
Wait, this is it's not Ed Orgeron. It's a name, isn't it?
He coaches.
Isn't he a former coach at like a big D1 spot.
It's Bruce Barnum is offering an afternoon of good football and free beer for all those who attend Portland State's game with Western Oregon. He's the Portland State head coach.
Yes. I, for some reason, thought it was somebody bigger.
I think this might have been done before, and maybe that's what you're confused, because I think I remember hearing a story about this a few years ago.
Like, who was the super big dude? He was, big.
Did Lane do that?
Was it Lane Kiffin?
No, Lane Johnson. Did Lane?
Oh yeah, the Bud Light thing. That was the Bud Light promotion.
Yeah, but the problem is that you had to drink Bud Light.
What's wrong with Bud Light, man?
Well, I mean, look, if you like beer, then I would say that, you should have something that's a beer. That's all. If you like flavored water, then there's nothing wrong with that, brother. You're all good. Come on, man.
Because I'm not buying your ticket, but I'll buy you a beer. Their stadium holds 7,600 people. They drew 3,300 for their most recent home game against UC Davis.
Watch UC Davis come in there and win. What are they? 27?
No, that was their most recent home game. That's already done.
Oh, okay.
So 4,000 people attend, and a quarter take them up on Barney's offer. He could be talking about a $5,000 commitment.
Wow. Well, what does the guy make? $1 million?
No, not at Portland State.
Bruce Barnum, what do you think he makes? Half mil?
Maybe 350,
right?
400.
Well, so he was making 110 as the OC.
Okay,
which is the most for any Big Sky. And this is hold on a second. This is not 2015. We need to update this information here.
It's the Big Sky Conference. Yeah.
How long has he been the coach here?
Not sure, but this is a coach who once passed $15,000 of his bonus money back to his staff.
Here's the thing, too.
Yeah.
Bruce Barnum in 2017 had an annual salary of just under $200K.
Okay. Well, yeah. I said 300.
He's probably not making the same amount, right?
Probably not. A little bit more.
All right, let's say he's making 350.
He's a big fella. I mean, he likes to eat, and he probably enjoys a lot of beer himself.
You think he's a Bud Light?
He looks like an old offensive lineman to me.
Yeah,
maybe he's like Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith in Atlanta?
Yeah, maybe he's like that. Maybe he comes from money.
Yeah, that's right. Arthur Smith's got that FedEx money.
Right.
Yeah.
He's still getting paid a lot of money, though.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, Arthur Blank came in there and was like, well, look, you're okay here. You already got the...
Yeah.
Trying to squeeze
I think you could have gotten a FedEx driver to come up with a better game plan for their game against the Eagles.
Yep.
That was terrible.
No, that was awful.
He's gonna FedEx him his red slip, his pink slip. That's what he's gonna do.
His pink slip.
How many? Go ahead.
Oregon and Oregon State both play at home that same day, so I think he's trying to get the available football fan to come out to their games.
But he doesn't have a snowball's chance then.
That's what I mean, though. Like, how many people are making that decision, you think?
No.
In Portland?
No.
Or Portland, greater Portland. Like, do I go to the Eagles or the Ducks?
Yeah. Do I go to the Ducks game? Do I go to Portland State, or do I go to the Antifa rally?
Right.
What do I do?
There's options for you, man, out there in Portland. By all means.
I'd be at Bandon Dunes.
That's great golf. I'd tell you, Portland was insane when I was there, but that was years ago, so who knows? First half Dallas Cowboys total points.
First half?
Yeah.
Was it 14.5?
You can go 12.5. Well, 14.5 for the over, but under 12.5.
Oh. So the 12.5's the number.
No, it's basically a range. So
okay.
From 8.5 to 20.5.
And
depending on where you go, like over 20.5, you're going to get plus 320. Under 8.5, you're going to get plus 350, and then it ranges all throughout there. But here's the thing. Dallas is running the football consistently like we all expect. Wouldn't that mean less chance to break something? And I don't know, could you go under 12.5 points?
Yeah, I could see definitely 10.
How many touchdowns do you think they score in the first half? Because if you're only at 1...
Max of 2.
Wow. Under 14.5, you lay 138.
Is that it?
What about the Eagles? Eagles have come out, even in that Niners game, the Eagles have come out hot.
Should have had 17 on the board.
Seriously. Maybe there's something to that where the Eagles do take some shots. First half over 10.5, over 12.5. Over 10.5 first half points for the Eagles is minus 110. Over 12.5, it's not that much of a break, to be honest with you, at even money. I'd like that to be a little bit more, but could we get 14 points from the Eagles against the Cowboys?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not a big ask, right?
No, not at all.
Nope.
I mean, there's no way they played the way they played this last game as far as, their offensive, making the same mistakes they made. Guys stepping out on passing routes. You tend to, correct those type of mistakes. You might find some other mistakes, but you usually won't do the same mistakes again.
That has got to drive that head coach nuts.
Oh,
that's his position group that he takes the most pride in. Here's a first-round pick
Harry.
stepping out of bounds on he dialed up a play. It was the right play against that cover. The kid did a good job, but then he backed off because he saw Rager stepping out of bounds. He's like, I got this.
Right. Oh, man.
Yeah, that'd drive you crazy. How's that film session on Monday with Rager in the room? Well, how does that go?
What?
Seriously.
What is this? Yeah. You got to have awareness of where you are.
Yeah, right.
I mean, what type of awareness? You let this guy push you out? He is a rookie.
He's a rookie. Yeah. Of course, Rager's only here 2 years, but
still, though, he probably looks at him like a rookie in this system.
Yeah.
Right.
Anybody who was a rookie last year gets one of these. It's okay, man. It wasn't your fault. Right? I mean, last year was a disaster. I don't know how you could look at tape from last year and get anything at all from it, right?
True.
Now, how about this trade? Leader Johnson at Writer Leader 247 covers the NBA for NBA Draft Room and 24/7 Sports as well. Puts out this trade. Sixers get, you know what? Rockets get Ben Simmons, Shake Milton, Matisse Thybulle. So you're giving this up right away. And before you say no, Sixers get John Wall, Josh Christopher, and 3 unprotected draft picks, 2022, 23, and 24. Unprotected.
I'm interested.
I'm interested also.
I'm interested. Here's the worst part about this is that you're giving up a top 5 defender in the NBA, man.
We can't think about it like that anymore, man.
I'm not talking about Ben Simmons even.
No, Thybulle.
I'm talking about Thybulle, Barrett. Just to clarify, because you're right. Like, I'm not even looking anymore. Just to clarify, I think that's a great follow-up because I think people would assume I was talking about Simmons. I don't even look at what you're giving up anymore by getting rid of Simmons. That's a foregone conclusion. But Matisse Thybulle is a young kid who could do stuff that not many can do in the NBA, and that's play D. But 3 unprotected. 3?
Yeah, 3. Wall averaged, 20 points, 9 assists last year? Was that right?
What do you think?
No, not 9 assists. That's too high. He was averaging 20 points.
Doing this trade?
Oof.
We got to get out.
I'm not hanging up the phone.
Right.
Barrett?
I'm thinking about it, bro. I'm thinking about it tough.
How about this? Ash with maybe the point of all points. Take those. Those picks are currency now. Currency.
Assets.
Absolutely. Oh, well, that's a dangerous word to use with Sixers fans, Harry. Asset.
Oh, yeah, that's a trigger word.
We got assets. That's all I'm saying. All right, we're back on Wednesday. Our buddy Lofty's going to join us because I think that there's some interesting angles to this Cowboys-Eagles game, and it's always nice to get another Philadelphian in here with perspective. And he's got some couple of interesting nuggets on the passing game too, especially with Quez Watkins.
Nice.
But from there, we also have, how difficult do you think it would be, or how big of a favor do you think you'd have to ask to get Matt Rule on before Thursday night, Harry?
Oh,
is that one that you'd like to save?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I go after him on a bye week.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't want to push it by any.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a game in 2 nights.
What about Robbie? You can hit Robbie Anderson up. You guys know each other.
No, he doesn't acknowledge anything Temple except Matt Rule.
That's it.
Seriously.
Oh man,
he'd be one of those receivers that when they say where they went to college, he'll say his high school.
High school.
Oh,
yeah.
School of Hard Knocks.
Yep.
All right, fellas, we're back on Wednesday. Hit up that thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. You still have Dan Cilio later today on the JAKIB Media YouTube page. A lot happening here. We'll see you Wednesday.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the memories. Go to get your spin on. Go to get your spa on. Go for the bubbles in your bathtub. and in your drink. Go for the stakes and the steak. Go for him. Go for her. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass. Free.
What's that?
A rocks glass?
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Holy shit.
And you're telling me I can get one of these glasses for free?
That's right. One free rocks glass per customer with each first-time purchase of Stateside Vodka. So good, it just disappears.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
As a hard-working American, you've never experienced how tough life can be until now. A catastrophic injury while working on the job. A personal injury from someone else's negligence. Turned away by other law firms in the region who didn't bother to learn your story. It's time to meet the Fritz & Beyond Cooley Law Firm and managing partner Brian Fritz. Badly injured? Call the Fritz & Beyond Cooley Law Firm. Find out why they say, "We got this."
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.